Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning. It's Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, and that is the time where I start No BS job search advice. What I try to do in this show is provide you with straightforward, direct, concise advice in 15 minutes of time that's designed to get your job search week off to a good start. Now, I want to confess, I'm a little tired this morning. You see, I'm a Giants football fan, and yesterday they had a real tough game. My congratulations to all 88 men who were on the field and their coaching staffs. That was quite a battle that took place yesterday between the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants for who would wind up going to the Super Bowl to play in 2 weeks. Now, you may not be a football fan, but I can tell you that there are lessons that can be learned from watching championship football. And often you can see many of these same lessons during the season too. But yesterday, whether you were watching the Giants and 49ers or the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens, there was a wonderful but very difficult and very painful lesson that was taught that I believe is so true in job hunting. And that lesson is there is just a slight difference between being a champion and going home. There's a slight difference between being the person who gets the job and the one who basically gets the email or the phone call that says, thanks, but no thanks. Now, in yesterday's Giant game, these were 88 Warriors. Now, I confess, I didn't watch a lot of the other game because I had parental responsibilities, but I did see the pivotal play in that game where the Baltimore field goal kicker lined up to kick a field goal that under any other circumstances is a very easy field goal for him. And he missed. And the feeling that sweeps over a player and a team where something that you expect is going to be so easy and automatic doesn't happen is devastating. There was images of players on the sidelines, on the Baltimore sidelines, just stunned that their kicker had missed what in football parlance is referred to as a chip shot, which is interesting because they take a golf term and move it over to football. In the Giant game, what took place were two mistakes by the same player where a Giant player recovered fumbles. And as it turned out, the same player on the 49ers made the mistake, and the same player on the Giants recovered the fumble. And the difference was 10 points. The Giants got a touchdown after the first mistake, and they scored a field goal in overtime after the second one. Now, in the first one, I must call attention to the fact that the 49ers player was not in their usual position. Their normal punt returner was injured and had to miss the game. So someone was put into a place that they could handle but didn't have a lot of experience handling. And he had tried to avoid catching a punt, but it grazed his knee, and a Giant player, seeing this, recovered it. Now, at first, the play was called for the 49ers as though the touch had not occurred. But the Giant player went to the sidelines and insisted that he had seen it and demanded that his coach question the call. And when it was reviewed from the press box, he was right. And the other one, it was just a good play by the Giants on special teams that this player catches the punt, he starts to return it, someone punches it out of his grasp, and the Giants recover. Now, these are all examples of the little things that stand between success and dismal failure. How true is that in job hunting, folks? How often is your laziness or your inattention to detail the thing that costs you. There are no details that are so small that you cannot pay attention to them when you're competing for a job, especially if you've been out of work for a while. Now, if you're in a job, you may arrive at an interview casually. You're happy doing what you're doing, but someone's talked you into going on this, or you heard something about this opportunity and it's somewhat appealing, and you explore the job so much that you forget to sell your qualifications to the employer until you've determined that it actually interests you, but by then they don't get the idea that you're really interested. So you wind up having invested time and found out that this is a job you really want, but it's too late because you've already created an impression that you don't want it and you can't fix it. Or you're someone who's been out of work for a while and have that defeated air about you. As much as you put that goofy smile on your face that's supposed to show that you're casual and cavalier and self-confident, it seems artificial, and people smell it. And as a result, when you interview, they don't believe you. There are lots of little details, like one of my favorites is people who arrive at an interview late because they miscalculated or because MapQuest said it would take 45 minutes, but it was actually an hour. Well, darned it if you shouldn't have left a few minutes early to arrive a little bit early. If it's a hot day out, why not arrive at the building a few minutes early so you have a chance to cool off? If it's a particularly cold day, why not arrive at the building a few minutes early so you have a chance to warm up instead of being so cold? Cold and extreme heat are incredible distractors for people. Most people I know, unless they give themselves a few minutes to prepare, are ill-prepared at the beginning because they're so distracted by the extreme temperatures. See what I mean? Lots of little details that cause people to be ill-prepared for when they interview, that cause them to lose opportunities. So, again, my reminder from the football games yesterday is there are just so many situations where you can do a better job in preparing yourself for an interview, where you can do a better job of working at your job search. And don't lose opportunities that you are qualified for because you don't pay attention to details. Now, there are tons of details to look at, but I also want to remind you about the emotional component of job hunting. And what I'll speak about is a little bit counterintuitive. But number one, spend time keeping track of all the things you do in your job search day. So, for example, if you're out of work and you arrive at your desk at 8:30, and the first thing you do is go online and check email, I want you to keep track of everything that you do, the amount of time that you spent on it. Record everything. You made a phone call and left a message. You write that down. You sent out an email to your sister-in-law to say hi. Well, you put that down. I want you to find out how you really spend your day. So that this way, after a week or so, you can see how much time you're really putting into your job search and how much time is really wasting time, to put it bluntly. So, keep track of all of this stuff. And if you start to notice that you're wasting time unproductively, I want you to start working at tweaking it. Now, here's the flip side of it. I also don't want you killing yourself there. I want you to spend time having some fun. If you spend all day indoors wasting time in doing work, frankly, you're going to get stale. Get out a little bit. See if you can meet someone for lunch. Make it a networking meeting. Talk with them about what's going on at their firm. Meet with a former colleague or former employer. Get together with them. Make it primarily social and ask for some advice along the way. That's okay. It just keeps you a little bit more fresh So that this way, when you're going out on interviews or you're doing your work, you just don't sound boring all the time. You're not just talking about the same two things time and time again and just not seeming excited about what you're talking about because it's become so repetitive. So, again, some of this may sound like it conflicts with one another, but it really doesn't. It's just so important to put yourself in a position where you feel good about yourself and where you can have a positive impact on the people that you meet with. Okay? So those are my suggestions for this week. I want to talk with you about some of the new positions I'm recruiting for. Now, the first one is in New York, and it's for an Informatica systems analyst and BI developer, all rolled into one. It's paying to about $120 on a base plus bonus. They're looking for someone with good database skills, with a number of years of Informatica background, plus experience with one of the BI tools doing development. This is with a financial firm, wants someone well-spoken, again, going to about $120 on a base plus bonus. In Connecticut, I have two positions in Fairfield County, two Java developers. This is for a software firm where they want people with strong object-oriented programming background, design patterns, expertise in core Java, JDBC, multi-threading, JMS, extensive server-side Java EE development experience, WebLogic or JBoss background, it's the application server experience, experience with databases. These are going between 120 and 135 on a base plus bonus. Then I have a Java architect's role, full systems lifecycle background, 5 years of development. Same technology as the previous one, but again, they're looking for an architect who will be working on enhancements to a financial product that they've developed and are selling successfully worldwide. Those are going to about 150 on a base plus bonus. In New York, a PeopleSoft HCM project manager, looking for at least 7 years of experience, including experience with HCM 8.9 or better in a project management role. At least 7 years of experience with design, implementation, and upgrade methodologies, plus full life cycle experience with PeopleSoft implementations. This is going to about 100 on a base plus bonus. A junior Linux systems administrator will be the primary systems administrator for the 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday shift at a financial services firm. This is in Jersey City, New Jersey. A single position with this organization that's paying to about 120 on a base plus bonus. So if you're qualified, interested, and available in any of these roles, please email your resume to me at thebiggamehunter@CISNY.com. If you know someone who might fit one of the roles better, please ask them to forward a resume and mention your name. I'll look out for them, I assure you. There are other positions at my website, which is jeffaltman.com. Come over to the site, search the listings, and there may be things that fit you. If you don't fit any of the positions, either that you've heard here or see on my website, feel free to recommend it at thebiggamehunter@CISNY.com. I just ask for the courtesy that in the subject line put the phrase on spec. This way I can look at it at my convenience instead of immediately rushing to stare at it. I'll be back next Monday with more No BS Job Search Advice Radio. But I also want to encourage you, while you're at my website, subscribe to my e-zine, No BS Job Search Advice, just like the radio show. And every Tuesday morning, with very few exceptions in the year, you'll receive my issue of my e-zine with more suggestions of more job search advice, more tips, more things that could help in a positive way. So this is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I hope you found this week's show helpful. Look forward to speaking with you next week. Take care.